when you look at those three things, why would Michelle McCool replace Mickie James? Why is she on his podcast when she's not that good? And why in God's name is she? What do you expect people to say, man? Of course, that's what they're going to say. Whether he did it or not, or whether he orchestrated it or not, that's what they're going to say.
Let's talk about The Undertaker facing a lot of flack for helping Michelle McCool advance her career. He said this on his podcast. I'm pretty sure that if you ask 99.5% of the guys that I've ever been in the dressing room with, they're going to tell you that as much clout as I supposedly have, I never, ever would have used it for that kind of crap. It's absurd that people get on the internet and can use words like reliable sources and everybody believes it. I'm not going to go into details, and I'm not going to give anyone that kind of satisfaction. What's your take on The Undertaker getting flack for Michelle McCool's?
I do believe him. I would never doubt Taker ever. No experience I've ever had with the guy would I ever call him a liar. Ever. However, you got to look at the facts here. You know, first of all, Mickie James was on that show. What's the name of that show again, bro?
Legends and Future Greats, LFG.
Okay, Mickie James was on that show. Now, you got to understand something. Mickie James is a beloved figure. Mm-hmm. Beloved. It's not like half of the people love Mickie. No, they love Mickie. So all of a sudden, Mickie, as beloved as she is with her experience, is replaced by Taker's wife, who, oh, by the way, is also on the show. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, now she's Taker's co-host on his podcast. And from what I understand, I've never listened to it. I've never watched it, bro. I don't watch podcasts. From what I understand, she's not very good. So, you know, Pete, that's what people are looking at. And
there's a third one too. She's in the Hall of Fame now.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay. So thank you. So when you look at those three things, why would Michelle McCool replace Mickie James? Why is she on his podcast when she's not that good? And why in God's name is she? What do you expect people to say, man? Of course, that's what they're going to say. Whether he did it or not, or whether he orchestrated it or not, that's what they're going to say.
100%, Vince. That's what they're going to say. Because here's the thing: this all happened in the same year, and we're starting to see more of a presence backstage. I was told this, that Undertaker hangs out more backstage in an advisory role. He's not really into the intricacies that much, but at the same time, I heard he just kind of sits back around, walks around, just kind of there as far as his presence is concerned. I was told that from someone backstage, and here's the thing: him having that presence, him announcing Steph, him announcing Triple H, you know, the Hall of Fame, him having more of that backstage presence, you know, as far as, you know, him having that influence toward Raquel Rodriguez, which ended up being very positive, him and Kevin Nash, that was really positive for her. But here's the thing: he has more of a presence from a backstage this year. Is it a coincidence? I would argue it's hard to argue that as we see more of a presence in backstage with The Undertaker, now Michelle McCool is the new host for LFG. Now Michelle McCool is replacing, you know, the original host, Matt or Mike or whatever his name is. Please excuse me if you're watching this. But from what I heard, you know, from what he said in an interview, you know, this wasn't something that was really planned or he was expecting. He said that the Undertaker, he was on, I think Maven interviewed him, and he was talking about how Undertaker said, hey, you know, we got to chat, and he was thinking that Undertaker was just putting the kibosh from the entire thing. But he told him, and it was unexpected to him, that he's moving over to WWE. WWE, has the rights of the podcast now, and Michelle McCool is going to be, is going to basically take your place. The person who was the original host, he was so graceful about the entire thing, and I give him mad respect for that. But I think if he really wanted to say how he really felt, it seemed like he was shafted, in many ways. And Michelle McCool is the person. And of course, Michelle McCool is not going to be like, yeah, let's go ahead and be the co-host and push him aside. But at the same time, the WWE didn't want him, clearly. And a lot of people are saying that they have so much more chemistry, to your point. They had so much more. I've not watched a single episode of the Michelle McCool and Taker 6 Feet Under podcast, but there is a lot of people saying that the original show had much more chemistry.
Chris, let me correct you, though. Because I think you're wrong about one thing. Mm-hmm. Bro, I don't think there's any way, shape, or form the WWE did not want his partner. The WWE was going to take whoever Taker said. With that, Taker was not.
Okay, I see that.
Taker was not going to say this is my co-host, and the WWE was going to say no. No, that did not happen. Taker probably we don't know any of this for fact.
We don't know.
Like Chris, let's face it. He probably saw a payday for his wife as the co-host, that payday coming from the WWE, because WWE would have went along with whoever he said his co-host was going to be.
Yeah, even if you do it from a numbers perspective, they were getting several million views on YouTube. So, he could have at least been bringing in $250,000 to at least $500,000 a year, as far as the numbers are concerned. That's a pretty, I think that was actually a month. So you're bringing in $3 to $5 million a year, if based on the numbers. Of course, I don't know the details, but based on the YouTube algorithms and the numbers, you're bringing in, a few million a year from this podcast, and that's a nice payday for a podcast, man. And you're okay. So do I get a cut as the original co-host versus? Well, I want my wife to get a cut now. So I can definitely see what you're saying as far as, if the Undertaker wanted the original host, he would have gotten the original host. But I do think it wouldn't have been as a completely easy path. There probably could have been some pushback, and he doesn't have any type of affiliation with the WWE for them to give him the nod. You know what I mean? So, and plus you can tell that the Undertaker didn't, even the person who did it can tell the Undertaker didn't really want to do it. He really didn't have his heart in eventually, but he's going to do it now since his wife has an opportunity to be a part of it with him too. So, and as far as the Hall of Fame is concerned, her resume in the WWE, let's be honest, Vince, what was it? That was a Hall of Fame resume. I know that it was a time that you didn't watch.
Yeah, I did not, bro. I did not see her on air like one time, so I have no idea of her career.
Yeah, she was a pro for, I think, Low Key. You worked with Low Key before, in NXT. She was Divas champ, and I know that she was co-champ with Layla for a little bit too. As far as just she only had really maybe a couple of good years, on top on the SmackDown brand when they had a Divas Championship. So, heck of a talent, solid talent. And but at the same time, it's like, just like I've talked to you about before, we've had these conversations before. What is the criteria for the WWE Hall of Fame?
There is none.
There is none.
There is none. It's that simple. There is none.
There's none.